the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
Macbeth! I come, Grey Malkin!
Had it calls.
Anon.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air. Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air. Fair is foul, and foul is fair.
Hover through the fog.
What bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight, of the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel. For to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles of kerns and gallowglasses is supplied. But all's too weak. For the brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution like valor's minion, carved out his passage from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Ah, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
Mark, King of Scotland, mark. No sooner justice had with valor armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels. But the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage with his furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or the hare, the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons, overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled shots upon the foe. But I'm faint. My gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds, they smack upon or both. Go get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king. For the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself with terrible numbers, assisted by the most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict. Until that Bellona's bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons. Point against point, rebellious arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirits. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness!
Now Sweno, the Norway's king, craves composition. Nor do we deign him burial of his men until at St. Combs Inch he disbursed $10,000 for our general use.
No more that Thane of Calder shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death. And with this former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts on her lap, and munched, and munched, and munched. Gift me, quoth I, right thee, witch, the rump-fed Runyon cried. Her husband to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger. But in a sieve, I'll fit the sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do.
I'll give thee a wing.
Oh, thou art kind.
And I another.
I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow. All the shipments that they know in the shipment's card. I shall drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live, a man forbid. Weary 7 nights, 9 times 9, shall he dwindle, peak and pine. Though his God cannot be lost yet, it shall be tempest-tossed. Look what I have.
Show me.
Here, I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drum! A drum! Macbeth doth come!
Ah! We and sisters hand in hand,
Posters of the sea and land.
Thus do go about.
thrice to thine,
Thrice to mine.
And thrice again to make up 9.
peace, the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is it called to chorus? What are these so wild in their attire that they look not like inhabitants of the earth, but yet are on it? Live you, or are you aught that men may question?
Speak if you can, what are you?
Ah! All hail Macbeth! All hail Thane of Glum!
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail Macbeth! Thou shalt be king hereafter!
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that which outwardly ye show? My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and royal hope, that he seems rapt withal. To me, you speak not. If you could look into the seeds of time and see which grains will grow and which will not, speak then to me who neither beg nor fear your favors, nor your haste.
Hail! Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy yet, much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo!
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail!
Stay you imperfect speakers. By Siddel's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief no more than Thane to be Cawdor. For whence do you owe this strange intelligence? Or why upon the blasted heath you stop by way of this pathetic greeting? Speak, I charge you!
The earth has bubbles as water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air would seem corporeal, melted as breath into the wind. Would they have stayed?
Were such things here as we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes reason prisoner?
Your children shall be king.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, when it's not so.
to the self-same tune in words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend which should be thine. Or his. Silence with that. In viewing over the rest of the self-same day, he finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks, nothing afeard of what thyself didst make strange images of death. As thick as hail came post with post, and everyone in his kingdom's great defense came and poured your praises down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor. For which addition, hail most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you address me in borrowed robe?
He was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life, which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or to blind the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both, he labored in his country's wreck, I know not. But treason's capital confessed and proved have overthrown him.
First Glamis and then Thane of Cawdor. Two greatness behind. I thank you for your pain. Do you not hope that your children will be kings? Those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them.
That trusted home might yet enkindle you to the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousin, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the imperial theme. I thank you. Cannot be ill. Cannot be good if ill. If ill, why have they given me earnest success commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to the suggestion of horrid imagings that unfix my head and make my seated heart knock at their ribs? Against the use of nature? Present evils are no less than the horrible imaginings of my thoughts of murder, yet fantastical, that makes my single state of man, that function is smothered in surmise for nothing is to what it is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
Chance they will have me king, then why? Chance crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him, like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may. Time and hour run through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor, my brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us towards the king and think about what it chanced, and speak with our open hearts to each other.
Thank you, sir. The like to you.
Until then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on Calder, or not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it.
There's no art to find the mind's construction of the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, wondrous cousin! The sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. Thou art so far forward that swiftest ring of recompense was slow to overtake thee. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The loyalty and service I owe in part pays for itself. Your highness's part to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne.
Welcome hither. I have begun to build thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, thou art no less deserved, and must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, thanes, kinsmen, and you whose places are the nearest, know that we shall establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must, not unaccompanied, invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers, from hence to Inverness, to bind us further to you.
This is labor which is not used for you. I will be the harbinger and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your arrival. So humbly I take my leave.
My worthy Calder.
Prince of Cumberland, this is a step in which I must fall or overleap, for it lies in my way. Stars, hide your fire. Let your light not see my black and deep desire.
True, worthy Malcolm. He is full so valiant. In his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Well, let's after him.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the most perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood rapt in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with, Hail, King that shalt be! This I have thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ears, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him? A word so would have informed for preparation.
'Tis true, our thane doth come tonight. One of our fellows has speed of him, and almost dead for breath, has little more than would contain his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold! Great glawns, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My love, Duncan comes tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he proposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see! Your face, my thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and swiftly recommends itself to our gentle senses. See our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, but still we thank as love.
All our service in every point, twice done and then done double, we're poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where is the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed ourselves at his heels and had purpose to be his purveyors, but he rides well. His great love, as sharp as his spurs, hath helped him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves and what is theirs in compt to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and will continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
We're done. This is done, and too well it was done quickly. The assassination could tremble up the consequences and catch him with this or see success. But this blow might be all to end all here. Here, on the bank of time. We jump to life to comes, but we but teach bloody instructions, which being taught return to the plague of the inventor. And commend the poison ingredients of the chalice that wishes to our lips. He is here in double trust. First, I am his kinsman and his subject, strong bolt against thee then, as his host. Who should shut the door against the murderers, not bear the knife himself. This is Duncan. His fallacies so meek, played like angel trumpet tongue against the deep damnation, and naked like a newborn babe, riding the blast of heaven's charitable horses. I have no spurs to prick the sides of my intent. Only vaulting ambition would overlaps itself and falls on the other. Well, what news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Has he asked for me?
Know you not, he has?
We will go no further in this race. He has honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts, which should be worn in the new glow, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Have it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would?
Peace! I dare do more than become a man. Whoever dares to do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than that. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
What if we fail?
We fail! But screw your courage to the sticking place and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, where to the rather shall his hard day's journey soundly invite him? His 2 chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a few, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great law?
Bring forth men, children only. Our undaunting mantle should bear nothing but males, but will not be received. If we mark with blood the sleepy 2 of his own chamber with the daggers they have brought.
Who dares receive another, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
Oh, I am settled and bent up. For each corporeal agent to this terrible feat away, and mock the fair show. False faces hide, what false hearts doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take it is later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. Take me that too. These summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend!
What, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abed. It hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices.
Oh, being unprepared, our will became servant to defect, but what free have wrought?
All's well. Last night I dreamt of the 3 weird sisters. To you they showed some truth.
I think of them not. Yet if we could trade an hour to that service, and in it we could spend some words on that business, if you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you would cleave my consent, when 'tis it I can make honor of you?
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchise and allegiance is clear. I shall be counseled.
What good have wrought?
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
dagger which I see before me. The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch at thee. I have thee not yet. I see thee still. But thou a fatal vision, sensible owing to feeling and to sight, for thou a dagger of the mind. A false creation perceived only by the heat oppressed brain. You have made a fool of my senses. I see thee still on that blade, gouged with dungeon blood that was not there before, which I seal with this bloody business. Hear not my steps for where they go, afraid of the stone to parade my whereabouts. This present horror, that which suits it. When I thrive, he survives. Oh, with the words of heat indeed, and for breath too cold to give. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Fear not, Duncan. It is enough that takes thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hoo! Hark! Hoo! Peace! It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? Whoa!
Alack, I'm afraid they have awaked and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
The deed is done. Does that hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry.
When?
Now?
As I descended?
I.
Hark! Who's in the second chamber?
Donalbain?
This is a sorry sight indeed.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
One did laugh in his sleep, and one did cry murderer. I stood and I heard them. They did say their prayers and addressed them again back to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One did say, God bless us, and amend the other. When they saw me with these hangman hands, the fear I heard, I could not say amen when they did say, God bless us. God bless us!
Consider it not so deeply.
How could I not pronounce amend when I was in most need of a blessing with amend stuck in my throat?
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
I thought I heard a cry. Sleep no more.
Sleep no more.
Macbeth have murdered sleep. The innocent sleep, deceit that knits the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life. Sore labor's back, the balm of the hurt mind, the chief nourisher of life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still they cry. Sleep no more to all the house! Glamis has murdered sleep. Therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why have you brought the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I dare not go. I'm afraid to think what I've done and look onto it again. I must not.
Firm of purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? is here with each noise that appalls me? What with these hands? Have they plucked out mine eyes? Will great Neptune's ocean wash the blood from my hands? No. My hands would rather the multitudinous sea of the incarnate, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. More knocking! Come, get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
Wait, Duncan, with that knocking! I would, if I could.
There's a knocking indeed! If man were a porter of Hellgate, he'd have old turning the key! Knock, 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 knock! Knock, 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 knock!
Who's there?
Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? There's a farmer who killed himself on the expectations of plenty. Come in time. Bring napkins and how about you here? You'll sweat for it!
Knock, knock! Knock, knock! Who's there, in the other devil's name, that could swear in both the scales against either scale, that committed treason enough, for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven? Oh, come in, equivocator!
Knock, knock! Faith, he is an English tailor come hither, for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor, here you may roast your goose.
Knock! 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 Never at quiet!
What are you?
But this place is too cold for hell.
Anon. Anon! I pray you, remember the porter!
Anon, I pray you, remember the porter.
Anon! Anon, I pray you, remember the porter!
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of 3 things.
What 3 things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir. It provokes, and it unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him, it mars him, it sets him on, and it sets him off. It persuades him, it disheartens him. It makes him stand to, and it makes him not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in a sleep, and giving him the lie, it leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very throat on me, but I requited him for his lie, and I think, being too strong for him, though he do take up my legs some time, but I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awaked him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow both.
Is the king stirring, worthy fame?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll take you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
Labor, delight, and physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
Did as he appointed so.
The night has been unruly where we lay. Our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustions and confused events, new hatched to the woeful time, the obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror, horror, horror. Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
matter?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo and Donalbain! Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself! Up, up, and see the great doom's image! Banquo, Malcolm, as from your graves rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parlay the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
What? In our house?
Too cruel anywhere, dear Duff, I prithee. Contradict thyself and say it is not so.
If I had died an hour before this, I would have lived a blessed time. For this instant, there is nothing serious in mortality. We're all but toys renowned. The wine of life is drawn, and there's nothing left in the vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are. You don't know it. The head, the spirit, the fountain of your blood, the very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
Oh, by whom?
Those of this chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were embabbed with blood, as were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life is to be trusted with them.
Yet I do repent that in my fury I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who could be amazed, wise, temperate, furious, neutral, and loyal in a moment? No man. The expedition of my love has outrun the pauser for reason. Here lie Duncan, his silver skin laced with golden blood, and they're the murderers, steeped in the color of their trade, their daggers are mirth with gore. But who dare have a heart that's renowned in love?
Help me hence.
Look to the lady!
Why do we hold our tongues that most may claim this argument for ours?
What should be spoken here were our fate hidden in augur hole may rush and seize us? Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer an exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against undivulged pretense I fight against treasonous malice.
And so do I.
Let's be manly readiness and meet in the hallway together.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer where we are. There's daggers in men's smiles. The nearer in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore, to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There is warrant in that theft which steals itself, when there is no mercy left.
"10 I can remember well. Within the volume of time of which I have known, hours dreadful and things strange, but this sore night has trifled former knowings.
Good father, thou seest the heavens is troubled with man's act threaten this bloody stage. For the clock 'tis day, and yet night does strangle the traveling limb.
It is unnatural. On Tuesday last, a falcon, standing in its place of pride, was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of their race turned wild in nature, broke their stalls and flung out as if they were to create war with mankind.
It is said they eat each other.
They did so, to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon it. Here comes the good Macbeth. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain,
Alas, the day, what good could they pretend?
they were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, thriftless ambition to wilt raven up thine own life's needs. This means the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He's already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Combkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, all to Fife.
I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu. Lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's benison go with you, and with those that make good of bad and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glams, all. Just as the weird women promised. And thou, I fear, thou playest most foully for it. Yet it was said, should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If truth come from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, then why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Ah, our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it would have been as a gap in our great feast and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, to request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to which my duties are, with a most indissoluble tie, forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my lord.
We desire your good advice would have both been grave and prosperous in the day's council, but for that tomorrow, 'tis it a far ride for you.
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time, twixt this and supper, go not my horse the better. I must become a borrower of the night for an hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
Ah, my lord, I will not.
I hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, and have not confessed their cruel parricide, and fill their hearers with strange invention, but for that tomorrow, when you return at night, does Fleeland go with you?
Aye, my lord, our time does call upon us.
When I wish your horse swift and sure foot, and commend their backs. Farewell.
Thank you, lord.
Give those men our pleasure.
Aye, my lord. Without the palace gate?
Bring them forth. To be thus is nothing but safely thus. Our fear in Banquo sticks deep. For the royalty of his nature reign which should be feared. Chid the sisters. When they put the name of king upon me, and babe like they spoke, prophet like, declaring him the father of a line of kings, and upon my head placed a fruitless crown, a barren scepter in my grips. Left me with the unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. For them, the gracious Duncan I have murdered, put the rancor in the vessel of peace. Only for them I mine the eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man. For them to be kings, for the seeds of Banquo to be king. And make me champion of the other. Who's there? Wait till the door. It was not yesterday that we last spoke.
It was, so please your highness.
Have you considered my speeches? And know that it was he, in times past, which held you so other fortune, which you thought it was us, but in our innocence have made it up to you in the last conference, with half the nation crazed, soul cried, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
We did, and we went one further. Are you so patient that you would let this go? Are you so gospel that you would pray for this man and his issues? When it's his heavy hand that has made you to your grave and made you a beggar forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye! In the catalogue ye go for men! You have a station in the file, not the worst rank of manhood. Know that I will pay for business in your bosom, and execute your enemies off.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do despite the world.
And I another, So weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my lie on any chance to mend it or be rid of.
Both of you know that Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
And he's mine! For every moment that he steps, thrust me to the nearest of life. Know that I could, with bare-faced power, swipe him from my sight. But I must not. For certain friends we share and loved ones I must not drop. But your attendance I do make love, and mask the business from the common eye for sundry and weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives...
Your spirit shines through you. In the hour, I would advise you where to plant yourselves, and acquaint you with the perfect spies of the time. But something from the palace that I do require a clearness, no rush or batches in your work. Fleelands goes with him, and he is no less material to me than his father. He should have the same fate of the darkened hour. No call to you or not.
We are resolved, my lord.
And conclude, Banquo, thy soul finds heaven, let it find it tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but he returns again tonight.
Say to the king, I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught's had. All spent. Where our desire is got. Without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on? Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake and not killed it. She'll be close and be herself. While poor remains danger in her former tooth, we will sleep and eat in fear with the affliction of the terrible dream that shakes us nightly. And be at peace for those that we have brought to peace. Duncan lies in his grave. Treason has done no worse than poison, steal a foreign levy. Nothing can touch him now.
Come on. Gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
I shall love and be you. Pray your remembrance to Banquo. Present him with evidence of the eye and tongue. We must hide our honors in the flattering streams, and with our faces visit so our hearts can disguise what they are.
You must leave this.
My brain is full of scorpions, my dear wife. Just know that Banquo and Fleelands live.
But in them nature's copies not etern.
Well, then those the bats that fly, the cloisters that fight, needing nothing but a demand note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of knowledge, dearest child, and applaud my deeds. Come seeing nightly the scarfed up eye that tears the pitiful day, and the blind invisible hand that clear and tear the bond which makes me pale. The agents of the night that do praise and rouse marvel at my words, and the beat strong of those that find themselves ill. So come.
The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the lated traveler pace to gain the timely inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses.
Give us a light here. Ho!
Then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile. What he does usually, so all men do from hence to the palace gate make it their walk. A light! A light! 'Tis he.
Stand to it.
It will rain tonight.
Let it come down!
Oh! Treacherous flee! Fly! The man's revenge! Oh, fly!
Your own degrees of sit and last, and health to all.
Thanks to your majesty.
We will mingle with society and play the humble host if our hostess can keep her estate. But thanks, but we do require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends, for my heart speaks they are welcome.
We do entertain that they love, and both sides are even. You sit with the myrrh and anon, and I will sit within the mist and drink at the table round. There's blood on thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
Better within than without. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
You are the best of the throat cutters. But what of the like of Fleelers? Are you on peril?
Most royal sir, Fleance is escaped.
I will have my fit again. I was whole as marble, fitted as a stone, bored as a general of the casting air. But now I'm cabined, cribbed, confined. But Banquo is safe.
Aye, most noble sir. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trench gashes on his face.
Well, thanks for that. The ground serpent that grows and the worms that fled, get thee gone.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer.
Sweet remembrance. Good digestion waits on appetite. Health to all.
Oh, please your highness, sit.
We have honorably roofed the nation, and to our friend Banquo, who I challenge for his mischance, but pity for his chance.
His absence lays blame upon his promise. It please your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table is full.
Here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that troubles your highness?
Which one of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
None of you could know that I've done this. Don't shake those gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and has been since his youth. Pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you will offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one. But look, what would repel the devil?
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Look, lo, behold! I don't care if thou can nod. Speak!
What quite unmanly folly!
If I stood there, I saw him.
Fie, for shame!
There was a time that when the brains were out, the men were dead. And now they rise. There were 20 murder scratches on that crown. This is more strange than the murder.
My worthy lord, your worthy friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not amuse my friends. I have a strange infirmity. For those that know me know it's nothing. Sit tall to the table. Give me my wine and I will sit, fill it full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table. And to our friend Banquo, who we miss. If you were here, we thirst, and for him and to all in all.
Our duties and a pledge.
Avaunt! Thy bones are mounds. Thy blood is cold. There's no speculation in those eyes to glare with.
Think of this, good peers, as but a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
Thou come like a rugged Russian bear, an armed rhinoceros, or a hydran tiger. Prepare with shape thy take by any form but this. Hence, Cree's shadow, hence! Ha! He is gone, and I am a man again. Pray, sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
You make me strange by the disposition that I own. that you can keep your natural ruby chicks when mine were blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
Pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
I will have blood. They say blood will have blood. What night is it?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which?
It is! Macduff has denied his presence by our gracious offer.
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear them! To all in the house, they know that I will send in the servants that I fed. Tomorrow at bedtime, I will take to the weird sisters and I will ask upon them the worst for me. I got a strangeness in my head that makes my hands act as should be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures, sleep.
I will come to sleep, and with the strange self-abuse which lines with fear. Oh, but we are still young.
Have I not reason? Beldams as you are, saucy and overbold. How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death? And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part or show the glory of our art. And it is worse! All you have done hath been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who as others do loves for his own ends, not for you. But make amends now. Get you gone, and at the pit of Acheron, meet me in the morning, thither he will come to know his destiny. Your vessels and your spells provide, your charms and everything beside. I am for the air, this night I'll spend, unto a dismal and a fatal end. Great business must be wrought here noon. Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it ere it come to ground, and that distilled by magic sleights shall raise such artificial sprites as by the strength of their illusion shall draw him unto his confusion. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes of wisdom, grace, and fear. And you all know, security is mortal's chiefest end. Hark, I am called. My little spirit sea sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me.
Come, let's make haste. She'll soon be back again.
My former speeches have but hid your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only I must say, things have been strangely bored. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Marry, he was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if it please you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. Then must not walk too late. Who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damn it, fact! How it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not in pious rage the two delinquents tear, that were the slaves of drink and thralls of death? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, for 'twould have angered any man alive to hear the man deny it. So that I say he has borne all things well. And I think, should he Duncan's sons under his hand, and as it please heaven I pray he shall not, so they should know what it were to kill a father, so should Fleance. But, peace, for from broad words and 'cause he failed his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Tell me, sir, where he bestows himself.
Son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court. Thither Macduff is gone to pray the holy king, upon his aid, to wake Northumberland and warlike seamen, that by the help of these, him above, to ratify the work, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive for the honors all which we pine for now. And this report had so exasperated the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Sent he to Macduff?
He did. With an absolute sir not I, the cloudy messenger turns me his back, and hums as who should say, you'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer.
And that well might advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England, and relay this message ere he comes, that a swift blessing may come to this, our suffering country under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed!
Thrice and once the hedge pig wow!
Harp your cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Thrice around the cauldron go! In the poisoned entrails throw a toad that on the whole stone 31 venom sleeping got. Boil thee fast in a charming pot. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Flay of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. And toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell-wrought boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the raven salty shark, root of hemlock, digged in the dark. Finger of birth-strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab. Make the gruel thick and slab. Add thereto a tiger's chaudron for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood. Then the charm is firm and good.
Oh, well done. I commend your pains. and everyone shall share in the game.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you black and midnight hags? What is it you do?
A deed without a name!
I conjure you, however you know it. Tell me what I ask of you.
Speak.
The name.
We'll answer. Say, wilt thou hear it from our mouths, or from our masters?
Call them. Let me see them.
Foreign sound blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaohs. Sweat from the murderer's gibbet. Throw into the flame. Come!
High or low?
Thyself and office deftly show.
By unknown power. Tell me more.
Hear her speech, but say thy not. She knows thy thought. Macbeth! 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 Beware, Macduff! Beware the Thane of Fife! Dismiss me! Enough!
I thank you, whoever thou art, that art my fear, but one word more!
She will not be commanded! But here comes another, more potent than the first!
Macbeth! Macbeth! Macbeth!
If I had 3 ears, I would hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laughter scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What do I have to fear of
Listen,
thee?
but speak not to it!
Listen, but speak not
Listen,
to
but
it.
speak not to it.
Be lion-mettled, proud, and take no care. Who chaves, who frets, or where conspirers are? Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Burnham wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him.
How can that be? Who can unfix so far as bid a tree to unfix his earthbound root? But there's one thing that makes my heart stand still. What of the issue of Banquo? Will his line reign this kingdom?
Seek to know no more!
Seek to know no more.
Seek to know no more.
That is the spirit of Banquo. That crown sears my eyes with the golden brown about. But the fourth is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? And a fifth. Does this line not stretch to the crack of doom? And a seventh, when I think it's done, and an eighth appears. One carries 2 folded balls and a treble scepter. I know this is real, for the blood-maltered Banquo smile upon me as he points at thus. But how? Where are they? They are gone by the pernicious hour of the accursed calendar. Come where they are! Who's there?
What's your grace's will?
Did thou see the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
They not with you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Oh, the entrenched air that makes them fly. Nothing should be trust him. I did hear the galloping of a horse. Who rode by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that send you word Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time. Thou received my dark exploits. Oh, the firstlings of my hand will be the firstlings of my heart. We will seize upon Macduff's castle, and seize upon the fight, and with my sword, give to his babies, his wife, all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. We must be cool and not proud for this purpose be cool. Come and show me where they are.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not our fears to make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom. To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion, and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear, and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason.
I pray you, gentle cousin, school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak further, but cruel are the times where we are traitors, and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not where we fleer, and float upon a wild and violent sea each way and move. I will take my leave of you. Shall not be long, and I'll be here again. Things at their worst will cease, or else climb upward to where they were before me. My gentle cousin, blessings upon them.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless.
Should be so much a fool should I stay longer. It will be my disgrace and your discomfort. I'll take my leave of once.
Sir, your father's dead. And what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, mother.
What? With worms and flies.
With what I get on, so do they.
Thou'dst never feed the gnat nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, mother? Or birds say are not said. My father's not dead for all you're saying.
Aye, he is dead. How wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
And you'll buy and sell again.
Thou speakst with all thy wit. And yet in faith, with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why? One that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone?
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest man.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang up.
Now God help thee, poor monkey. What wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you would weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame! I am not who you know, but in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger doth come to you nearly. But if you take a homely man's advice, be gone hence from here with your little one. To scare you thus I think I am too savage. But to do worse, what you fell cruelty, which is now your person. Oh, heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now that I am in this earthly world. That to do harm is often laudable, to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why, Danielas, do I put up that womanly defense to say that I have done no harm? What are these places?
Where is your husband?
At home. for no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor!
Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain!
What, you egg? Young fry of treachery!
He has killed me, mother! Run away, I pray you!
Empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dolor.
What you have spoke, it may be so perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance, even there, where I did find my doubts. Why, in that rawness, left you wife and child, those precious motives, those strong knots of love, without leave-taking? I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed, bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thou thy bases shore, for goodness dare not check thee. Wear thou thy wrongs, the title is afeard. Fare thee well, lord. I will not be the villain that thou thinkst for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the riches to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each day a new gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here from gracious England I have offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread on that tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer, and more sundry ways than ever by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow. The poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil in evils more damned to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there is no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust and my desire.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and downfall of many kings. But do not fear to take upon you what is yours. We have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
With this, there grows, in my most ill-composed affection, such a staunchless avarice that were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels in this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer seeming lust, and it hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear. Scotland hath foisons to fill up your will, of your mere own. All these are portable with other graces wait.
But I have none. The king becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of these, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting it in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland.
If such a one be fit to rule, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. Oh, nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant, bloody sceptered, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again, since the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed, and does blaspheme his breed? Thy royal father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee oftener upon her knees than on her feet died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, have from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth by many of these strains hath sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from over credulous haste. But God above, deal between thee and me. For even now I put myself at thy direction, unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself. For strangers to my nature, I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own. At no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than in life. My first false speaking was this, upon myself. What I am, truly, is thine and my poor country's to commend. Now, we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once, 'tis hard to reconcile.
Well, more anon.
See, who comes here?
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin. Welcome hither.
Good God, I know him now. But times remove the means that makes us strangers. Sir, amen.
Stands Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country. Almost too afraid to know itself. Cannot be called our mother, but our grave. Where the sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are made, not marked. Where the dead man's knell is scarce asked for whom.
Oh, relation. Too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grave? That of the hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace?
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
How, ghost?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy young men that were about. Now is your time of help. Your eye in Scotland could create soldiers, make our women fight, and doff their dire distresses. Be it their comfort. We are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good seaward and 10,000 men. An older and more better soldier none that Christendom gives out, of which I could answer this comfort with the like. But I have words that should be howled out in the desert air where sound cannot latch them.
What concern they? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
Though mine it's honest, though it pertains some woe, though the main part pertains to you, alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard. Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered, and to add to the glory of these murdered deer, add to the death of you.
My children,
Wife,
too?
children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife
I
killed...
said... Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, Palkite. What? All my pretty chickens and their dam in one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I showed you so! But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am. Not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger, blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and brag it with my tongue. But, gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length, set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watch with you, but can find no truth in your report. When was it last she walked?
Since His Majesty has gone out into the field, I have observed her rise up from her bed, throw on her cloak, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and then return to her bed, all whilst in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation of nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Not to you nor to anyone, as I have no witness to confirm my speech. Lo, you! There she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her. Stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood beside her. She is with light continuously. 'Tis her command.
You see her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
What is it she does now?
Oh,
Look how she rubs her hands.
it is an accustomed action for her to seem thus washing her hands. I've known her do this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks.
Out, damned spot. Out, I say! 1, 2. Well, then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord. Fie. A soldier and afeard. What need we fear who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord. No more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to. You learn what you should not know.
She has said what she should not. Of this I can be sure. Oh, heaven knows what she has known.
There's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
What a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I have no heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Oh, I pray it be so.
This disease is beyond my practice. Could I have known those which have walked in their sleep who have died wholly in their beds?
Wash your hands. Get on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so?
To bed. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come, give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Rushing out to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural acts do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God forgive us all! Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, but still keep eyes on her. So good night. My mind she has made it amaze my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
The English power is near, put on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macduff. Revenge is burn in them, for their dear causes would to the bleeding and grim alarm excite the mortified man.
Near Burnham, what shall we more meet them? That where are they coming?
How does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say him mad. Those who lesser hate him call it valiant fury. But to be sure, he cannot trouble his disdain within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murders sticking on his hands. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief.
And who shall be to blame for his pestered senses to recoil and start when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there?
Well, march we on, to give obedience to where it is truly owed.
Make we our march towards Burnham.
Bring me no reports. Let them fly. Till Burnham would come to Dunsinane, I cannot take with fear. Who is the boy Malcolm? He's not born of a woman. The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man born of a woman should ever have power upon thee. So then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicure. The head I sag and the heart I bear will never sag with doubt or shake with fear. Devil be damned, that cream-faced loon. Where you go with that goose look?
There's 10,000
East, villain!
soldiers, so please you.
Oh, prick thy face over red with fear. What soldiers? You lidded cheek of Thane, uses concealers for sea fear. What soldiers, Wayface?
The English forces, my lord.
Take thy face. My heart is sick. I have My way of life has fallen into the sea. The yellow leaf of life which should accompany old age as love, friends, honor. I cannot follow thee, but instead curse, not loud, but deep. Which that mouth-honored babe to the heavy heart have.
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news else?
That which has been confirmed. All has been reported.
Then I'll fight! I'll fight till my flesh and bones be hacked! Give me my arm!
'Tis not yet needed.
We'll stir the country road! Send out more horses! Hang those that talk of fear! Give me my armor! How there be, doctor? How be your patient?
Not so sick as she is troubled by thick-coming fancies which keep her from her rest.
Well, can't thou cure that? Can't thou minister a mind disease? Pluck a memory from a rooted sorrow. Rise out the written troubles of the brain. Give her a sweet oblivious antidote that can unstuff her bosom which her heart lies.
Therein, the patient must minister to himself.
Well, throw physics to the dog! Give me my armor! The thanes fly through me. What rhubarb or cayenne or putative drug with the English hence?
My good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
I am not afraid of death and bane until Burnham would come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane free and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
We doubted nothing.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery air and report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no one but the confident tyrant remains still in Dunsinane, but will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know that which we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative that are unsure hopes will relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war.
Hang the banners on the outward wall! The cry is still they come! We will laugh the siege to scorn, let them lie, till the famine and the queue eat them up. We should not fight what is ours, and beard to beard beat them backward home! What noise was that?
'Twas the cry of women, my lord.
I've almost forgotten the taste of fear. It's been some time that has cooled. Familiar and dreariness, and that has stopped my murderous thoughts. Where was that cry from?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. It would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creep in this petty place, from day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all of our yesterdays have lighted full the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow. A mere player who struts his frets his hour upon the stage and then is here no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, filled of sound and fury, signifying nothing. What story be thy tongue?
Most gracious Lord, I report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought, the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Take your wrath out on me if it be it not so. Within these 3 miles you'll see it, I say, the moving grove.
Thou art lying. Upon the next tree I shall hang! Until famine claim thee! Would that I be telling sooth? And Burnham Wood comes to Dunsinane, and now a wood comes to Dunsinane. Armed and bow. Ring the alarming bell! Blow! Wreck! At least I will die, with harnesses on my back!
Now near enough. Your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Fare thee well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death!
Oh, they have tied me to the stake and I cannot fly until one of a woman born come!
That way the noise is. Tyrant, show thy face!
If thou beest slain and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghost will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheathe again undeeded. Let me find him fortune, and more I beg not.
This way, my lord. The castle gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strive beside us.
Why should I play the Roman fool and fall on my sword? When I see lives that gashes would do better upon!
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all the men I would have avoided thee, get thee back. My soul is charged with the blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out!
Oh, lowest laborer, how would press me to make me bleed with thy soul? Fall on thy crest, I bear a charmed life, not fall from one thee a woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Cursed be that tongue that has held me the better part of a man. I will not fight thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the gaze and show of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not kiss the ground of young Malcolm's feet, and be labeled with the rabbler's curse. Though Burnham would have come to Dunsinane, and thou oppose of a woman born, I will fall on my warlike shield. So come, Macduff, and dare be the first one that says hold enough.
And would the friends we missed were safe arrived.
Some must go on. In my knees I see so great a day as this is cheaply bought. Here comes newer comfort.
Hail, King! for so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland.
Hail, King of Scotland.
We shall not spend a large expanse of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named. What's more to do, as will be planted newly with time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought by self and violent hands, took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace, we shall perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.